Antoine got back to campus late last night and was in the weight room this morning with the team, and will practice this afternoon. He said he worked out once or twice back home. We'll see. Imagine he's going to drop some fluids this afternoon. So it's great to have him back after a difficult time. It's still a difficult time for him, but I think it says a lot about Antoine and says a lot about our team that he would be able to come back and play in a tournament.
Did he explain to you why he wanted to come back? Why he did come back?
No, I'll let him do it. One of the things that throughout this whole process, we let Antoine sort of take the lead on when he was going to be able to go back and when he was going to come back, and that's been the way it's been through both his father's illness as well as returning to play. So, really didn't discuss with him the particulars about if he was going to come back or why he might want to come back or whatever. Just left that up to him, and then when he decided this is what he was going to do, we worked with him on it. We've had some conversation about what this spring is going to be like. I've had conversations with my seniors about that because there's a lot of work to be done as far as their representation and what events that they're going to be invited to and should go to or shouldn't go to, and summer leagues and all kinds of things like that for the guys that want to try to play professionally. And so I did have some conversations with him about that.
Just from your perspective, having him back and maybe allowing him to be able to play another game or two in his college career, what do you think that would mean to him and his future?
Well, I don't know how much it's going to affect his future. I think, he had his moments this year, and those moments certainly speak volumes. I would imagine, this last several weeks have been really hard for him. He's hardly practiced, and so, I would imagine that, in getting him back, he won't play as I can't imagine he can play as dominant a role as he played at times. But we'll get him in there and get him in a rotation and know that in a lot of ways we're better with him on the floor. But I can't speak to what kind of impact. Mississippi State is a very quick team. They're one of the quickest, most athletic teams in our league. They're very deep. They're playing 10 guys. They're tough covers. They had us down 18 in the second half on a couple of occasions. Now, we battled to be able to get within two late, but it was a tough matchup for us. And they were able to separate themselves from us the first time, and pretty significantly. And so Antoine's not the quickest guy, and we don't have the quickest backcourt, and so that could be an issue as far as his coming back for this game. It's not a great matchup.
Have you been able to put together your own kind of big picture look at how your first season's gone yet, or?
No, we got time for that. We got time. We can point to a lot of positive things. There are plenty of negative things to point to, and we got time to focus on that when it's over.
How important is picking up a win here? Not just because in general, but what this program has gone through the last 5 years of not getting one in the SEC tournament. What would it mean after these losing streaks to at least get one here this week?
I mean, these are great storylines. Like the losing streak is a great storyline. It's a fact. It happened on my watch. I'm comfortable that we are doing what we can. I can't control a lot of things. The quality and the depth and the breadth of the league have a lot to do with the fact that we have put together a pretty bad run here at the end. And we've been shorthanded. A win in the SEC tournament at any point in our young history would be important. Would be something that we can put on the left side of the column as an accomplishment. You know, we, again, as it relates to getting it, you know, we got to get back in transition. Mississippi State did a really good job of guarding us, and you know, we're going to have to guard them because they're going to guard us. So my focus is, what can we do to score? What can we do to stop them? And then the reflection on the season, or how important would a win be to our program, all that stuff is stuff that I can't control right now. You know, I got to focus on what we got to do to try to create a game plan that give us a chance.
What's the feedback been like, just recruiting, and as far as your outlook for the future, as far as talent coming in, what kind of talent you guys been?
That's a good question, because I tell you what, so far there's been, I want to say, almost very little negative feedback in recruiting because of our season. Most of the take has been positive because of the support that we received, because of how hard the kids are playing, people understanding that you know, we've had our challenges. That's been the majority of it. Now, so therefore I don't think it's been negative. Could it have been a boost? Yeah. I mean, it could have, a better year could have really jumped us up in recruiting. It could have helped us in areas we don't know. But I don't think it's going to be an excuse that we're going to be able, that we can use or should use, or we're going to have to use as it relates to recruiting. If things don't work out, the rest of this 2015 class, or if it doesn't work out for us in the 16 class, it won't just be because we didn't have a great year in 15. So, does that make sense? Could have helped us. I don't think it's hurt us much. At least from the feedback I'm getting.
If Jordan or Casey or somebody else like that steps up, has like a double-figure scoring game and just plays well, how much does that increase your chances of winning?
You know, we said from very early on, we play best when everybody contributes. And so there was a run there where when we were winning games, we had 4 guys in double figures, was like an interesting mathematical probability that could predict our winning. And we've not had 4 guys in double figures for a while. We've not won for a while. So, you know, those guys, any one of those guys that aren't double figure scorers, I mean, we have 3 guys that average in double figures: Antoine, KT, and Simeon. So if 1 or 2 of those other guys put up double figures, it really helps us. You know, a lot of it depends on your particular matchup. I thought that Simeon, we should have gone to him more against Georgia. I thought that he defended really well. I thought he really upped his effort from the standpoint he played a lot of minutes, and he didn't have, he's had periods where fatigue got to him, and defensively he wasn't where he was supposed to be because he just wasn't totally engaged. I thought he really was engaged in the game defensively, and we should have gone to him more offensively. I thought he played well.
Can you pinpoint with him, Bruce, what's going on with the rebounding? As far as I know, obviously he played some bigger teams. He's not a big man
Right.
as far as height, but
Right.
his average now has dropped below 10, which few players have. But nevertheless,
Right.
like there's no one else that you
Right.
have that's getting the board. So
Right.
why isn't he getting?
I'd say that his effort and energy haven't been took down the stretch what they were early. In other words, I think the length of the season has taken its toll. He trained harder this year than he's probably ever trained in his life, and I think he's just fatigued. He's not as bouncy. He doesn't have the same lift. There are some things we're going to have to work on in the off season as it relates to his you know, he needs to cut 10, at least 10, and have that cut for a while so he can keep his energy. Sometimes when you lose weight, you lose energy. It's been this size for a while, and so I think that will help him. I think it's been a long year, and I think he just doesn't have the same pop that he has that he had. And then, yeah, probably just the size in the league. It's an interesting. I was asked a question about defensive players, and there are a lot of really good defensive players with size in the league. If you think about, you can take the all-defensive team that'll come out tomorrow or the next day. You know, LSU probably have a couple guys on that team because of the way they rebound and defend a little bit. Kentucky will probably have 3 guys, you know, that'll be considered, right? All 6'10" or bigger, right? Arkansas with Portis and Quarles, Damian Jones from Vanderbilt, and, you know, Siakam, and what I mean, you know, Gavin Ware, Raquez Johnson, Mississippi State. I mean, it's a really good year for bigs, and God bless. I mean, again, where we would be without Sim. So, you know, the kid at Georgia we played, you know, Georgia's big kid. It was a good year for bigs, and they're all pretty good defensively. So I think that probably was a factor in his shooting percentage and in his rebounding totals in the league.
You were selling KT for first team. He's one of only 5 players in this program history to lead the conference in scoring. If he also gets first team, he'll be one of 3.
Yeah.
This is going to sound strange to say at this point, Bruce, but these are the kind of things that you retire numbers over.
Yeah.
Is this the last week that someone's going to wear the number 1 for this program?
That's a great question, and I'm not the guy to decide that. To be one of 5 guys to lead the league in scoring is significant. To graduate, to have a chance to be first team all conference and lead the league in scoring, which has only happened 2 other times. Yeah, those are the things that retired jerseys are made of. Winning is also a factor, and you'd hate for KT to be penalized for that. But that's just the reality of all of it. It's all encompassing. So, you know, certainly his individual numbers and his effort and his role and his work ethic and the kind of student athlete he is certainly warrants him for consideration.